Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 25. Bhishma Drona Pramukhukta Sarvesham Cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pasyatan Samavetam Kuruniti.
In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, "Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here."
Tatra Pasyat Partha Pitrin Atha Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratran Putran Sakhim Tatha Svashuran Surdas Jeva Senayor Ubhayorapi.
There, Arjun could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers.
Text 27. Tan Samiksya Sakonteya Sarvan Bandhun Avastitan Kripaya Paryavistu Vishidan Idam Abravit.
When the son of Kunti, Arjun, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Text 28. Arjuna Uvacha Dristvemam Swajanam Krishna Yuyutsum Samupastitam Siddhanti Mama Gatrani Mukham Cha Parishusyati.
Arjun said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up."
Text 29. Vepatuscha sarire me romaharshascha jayate gandivam shamasidhastat tvak cheva paridayate.
My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow, Gandev, is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning.
Text 30. Nacha saknomi avistatam pramati vacha me manaha nimittani cha pasyami vipiratani keshava.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I only see causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon.
Text 31. Nacha shreyu nupasyami hatva svajanam ahave nakankshe vijayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha.
I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Text 32 to 35. Kim no rajena govinda kim bhoge jivitena va yesham arthe kankshitem no rajam bhogaha sukhani cha. Taimeva sthita yudhe pranamstyaktva dhanani cha acharyaha pitaraha putras. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Datteva cha pitamaha matulaha shavasruha putra शालया सम्बन्धिनिस्तथा एतं न हन्तम् इच्छामि ज्ञातुपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतुः किं नु महत्कृते निहत्याद्रहताश्त्रन्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दनः.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I'm not prepared to fight with them or even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra?
Text 36. Papam eva shayed asman hatvetan atatanyah tasman arha vayam hantum dhritarashtran sa bandavan svajanam hi katham hatva sukhina shama madhava.
Sin will overcome us if we slay our aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
Text 37 to 38. Yadi apiyate na pashyanti lobo pahata chetasaha kulakshaya kritam dosham mitradrohe cha patakam katham nagyenam asmabhi papad asman nivarititam kulakshaya kritam dosham prapyasyabhir janardana.
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin?
Text 39. Kulakshaye panasyanti kula dharmaha sanatanaha dharme naste kulam krishnam adharmo bhiyavatye yuta.
With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
Text 40. Adharma bhivavata Krishna pradusyanti kula striyaha strishu dustasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha.
When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, or descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny.
Text 41. Sankaro narakayeva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro yesham lupta pindodaka kriyaha.
An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Text 42. Dosher etai kula gananam varna sankara kara kahe utsatayante jati dharmaha kula dharmascha shashvataha.
By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated.
Text 43. उत्सनाकुलधर्माणं मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नारकेण यतं वाशो भवत्याति अनुशश्रुमा.
O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Text 44. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yad raja sukha lobena hantum svajanam udyataha.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen.
Text 45. Yadi mam apratakira karam ashastram shastrapanayah dhratrashtraranihanayus tanmekshemataram bhavit.
Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Text 46. Sanjaya uvacha evam uktvarjunaha sankhye rathopasta upavishat visrijya shasharam chapam soka sambhigna manasaha. Thank you.
Sanjay said, Arjun, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much, Geeta Mataji and Sharad Prabhu. That was truth spoken concisely. What an eloquence. Really liked your recitation. Really good pronunciation in Sanskrit, Geeta Mataji and Sharad Prabhu. The way you read, my mind normally when I read Shastra goes here and there, but your reading was so interesting that I somehow or other I was more engaged in reading Bhagavad Gita. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
It was really nice.
I'm making this recitation in memory of my mother who passed away 19 years ago, also on Nirjala Ekadashi tomorrow. So
Oh,
I
wow.
wanted to offer that recitation for her well-being.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's the best yagya you can perform for her. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the conclusion of the chapter 1. What a beautiful chapter it is. And we are going to be doing a quick overview. I won't be spending a lot of time on the overview today because we have recited this whole chapter together. We've discussed every single purport of the chapter. It can't get any better than this. So what we will do is we will do a quick overview in terms of where the verses were, what was kind of discussed, a brief summary. And then we will look at ways of remembering the first chapter without me inventing any wheel. We will look at our master Sutapa Prabhu's document of how he gives us a recommendation to remember this chapter through acronyms. In fact, every chapter. So we'll go through that. So first, let's look at the theme here. The chapter is entitled Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. We know how the battlefield began and how the Bhagavad Gita came into existence at such an important juncture where Arjuna was overwhelmed, as we just heard the last text. But what happened in the beginning, the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter is more or less an introduction to the rest of the book. So in the first section, which is the introduction from the 1st to the 27th, there was an introduction given of the various personalities who have come to take part in the battle. There were descriptions given of the various conch shells being blown and what were some of the names of those conch shells. There were descriptions given of the people who were on the either side of the party where Duryodhan was giving out the names that, oh, these are the people in that party, these are the people in my party. Look at my party, how strong I am now. And like this, there was a series of verses being spoken about the exchange. And especially if you look at further dividing these, in the first 11 texts, it's all about preparation for the war. In the text 12 to 20, there are signs of victory in form of those conch shells being blown and how Sanjay narrated that how the Pandavas were feeling, especially when Arjuna and Krishna blew his conch shell. And then in the third section, which is of these 27 verses, was Krishna's mood was explained as a Bhakta Vatsala, that how he is so kind to his devotee. He's now taken the form of a chariot driver, Prabhupada mentions in the purports. And then, which is the second section, which is verse 28 to 46. The verse text 28 and 30 was spoken about what is compassion and how Arjuna was trying to apply the compassion. Then how one can enjoy the kingdom or the material world, and the perspective which Prabhupada shares that, well, I wasn't a very intelligent way of thinking what the enjoyment which Arjuna was referring to from text 31 to 35. And then there was a concern Arjuna portrayed to Krishna that how there could be sinful reactions incurred on us if we did fight on it. Whereas the point is, when you're fighting in instructions of Krishna under his direction, there cannot be a question of sinful reactions. You will be absolutely taken care of, because Krishna says, Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva pape bhyo mokshashyami ma sucha. Aham tvam sarva pape bhyo, that Krishna will take away all our sinful activities, all our paps which we have done. He's assuring us of that. So there's no question of sin here, and we will learn of that as we go forward. Excuse me. And then in the last few verses from text 39 to 43, the destruction of the family tradition, how Arjuna gives the argument that if the people or the men will die, the women will be unprotected, and when the women are not protected, then they will give a rise to unwanted population, and through the unwanted population there will be annihilation of the entire dynasty or the community projects which are being involved for the upliftment of the society. All these arguments Arjuna gives. And finally, we know in the last few texts that how Arjuna makes the decision to sit down and put his bow and arrow aside. Thank you, Sridham. Okay. Sorry, I was feeling a bit of a cough, so my son just got me water. So now let's look at what our dear Sutapa Prabhu has given us in form of this beautiful document, which is readily available on tatva.com, which is Sutapa Prabhu's website. How we can remember this chapter through an acronym called doubt. So I'm going to be requesting, if it is nobody feels offended, if it is okay with me to ask Prabhu once again, who recited the verses for us, to also read this paragraph. Prabhu, if it is okay with you. Sharad Prabhu. Are you there, Prabhu?
Yes, sorry, I was muted.
Okay, no problem. So if you'd be so kind to read this paragraph for us, introducing us to the first chapter, and then we'll go into the acronym.
Sure. Chapter 1, Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. The spiritual journey usually starts with a doubt. Over the years, our friends, family, society, and the media paint the perfect picture of success, and we subsequently shape our lives in determined pursuance of it. At a certain point, however, we begin to doubt whether that perfect life is achievable or will actually make us happy. We begin to question the materialistic goals, aspirations, and milestones of success that have become deeply ingrained within us. Could there be some deeper purpose to life? While this initial doubt can often bring great uncertainty and confusion, it can also bring us to the start of our spiritual journey. It is this very doubt that Arjuna expresses at the onset of this sacred conversation.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So, interesting enough, I was just speaking to one wonderful couple, a devotee family, and we were just talking about how important these questions in our life are and how important it is to clarify those doubts. And here we are, right, and on the onset of the chapter 1, where Arjuna has so many doubts, And not only that, he believes he has a good, sound spiritual understanding, which he was trying to educate Krishna and explain his various arguments to not to fight, actually. So what a great sage Sutapa Prabhu recommends us is to try to remember this chapter in a very easy way through this beautiful word called doubt. And the first D stands for Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. So if we can have, maybe who can we have? Anju Mataji, would you mind, if it is okay with you? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Could you give us the essence of text 1 and 12 from Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, this paragraph here, starting with innumerable soldiers still here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Innumerable soldiers have assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra due to the obstinacy and deep-rooted material aspirations of these two characters, bent on usurping their cousin's kingdom. Sitting in his palace, King Dhritarashtra inquires about the latest events on the battlefield, while his son Duryodhana is busy firing up his army as it prepares for fratricidal war. Dhritarashtra is physically blind, but he and his son are also blinded by greed, envy, and material desire. When the individual starts to think in terms of I, me, and mine, primarily interested in selfish gain and personal aggrandizement,
Aggrandizement, yes.
aggrandizement, then anxiety, frustration, and disappointment are inevitable. Unfortunately, one who is materially entangled becomes oblivious to the ill effects of his actions.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So you see, the mentality of the doubt is, it's almost two personality personified, which is Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan here. So Dhritarashtra, the first text in itself starts in such a big doubtful question, whether the main question he has in mind, whether my sons are actually going to be able to defeat the Pandavas. That whole Gita sprungs, or the whole message of Bhagavad Gita starts from this doubt question. And the whole idea of Duryodhana then going around trying to assess the army on the other side and describing the heroes on his side is also driven from a mentality of the doubt. Well, the reason he's assessing, well, I'm sure, or I'm going to win. And Sutapa Prabhu makes this beautiful point here. He's saying Duryodhan is busy firing up his army as it prepares for the fratricidal war. Dhritarashtra is physically blind, but he and his sons are also blinded by greed, envy, and material desire. Because that is there, these propensities are there in our heart, then our doubts are not heading in the right direction of our auspiciousness. But if we have doubts, that Prabhu, could you please explain, how is it that I can focus on my chanting? Prabhu, can you please explain that? How is it that I can make a tangible progress in Krishna consciousness? How can I come closer to Krishna? Those doubts are not driven from these propensities. Those doubts are driven from a scientific word which has been translated, as Prabhupada calls it, Brahma Jigyasa, to find out about the Brahman, the knowledge of the spiritual platform. And those are very conducive doubts to have, because they aid to our spiritual advancement. So please try to remember this D, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, how this is kind of coming together in this first 12 texts as we just discussed. Going on to the next one, if I may please request Bharti Mataji to read the second paragraph, which is omnious results from text 13 to 20. These are very self-explanatory. I'm not spending a lot of time. We're going to go straight into the quiz after this. We finish reading the T point till T.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Omnious
Krishna.
results, verse 13 to 20. Despite Duryodhan's boastful words, the obvious result of this confrontation is made clear from the onset. Too many signs indicate his inevitable defeat. Those who stand on the side of purity and righteousness are always victorious, regardless of whether the worldly odds stack against them. One who is a carrier of goodness is never overcome by evil.
Thank you so much. It is self-explanatory, very, very clear. I think there's no need for me to dwell on it at all. Let's move on to the next part where maybe Girish Prabhu, will you be kind to read us the uncertainty, which is starting with, which is describing or giving us the essence of the text 21 to 27, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you please repeat?
Prabhu, could you please read the uncertainty part here, text verse 21 to 27, this paragraph for us, Girish Prabhu?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Uncertainty, verses 21 to 27. Despite knowing that he defends virtue, Arjuna is still uncertain about fighting his opponents, who are also his relatives. The chariots are readied, arrows are drawn, battle cries are sounded, but Arjuna wants to take a final look at the armies. He ordered Krishna, who assumed the role of his charioteer, to drive to the middle of the battlefield so he can satisfy his curiosity to his credit.
And carry on, Prabhu, just this part here, despite the intensity of the situation.
Despite the intensity of the situation, Arjuna takes time to reflect. Life may be cramped and responsibilities and pressing issues, but attendance to such demands should not be at the expense of quality spiritual introspection. Unfortunately, the chronic disease of modern man is the excuse of no time when it comes to such soul searching. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you so much. So the point here is, one time, Srila Prabhupada asked a devotee, a senior, a elderly person in India, who was complaining to Prabhupada that my son has been brainwashed by you and now he's joined the Hare Krishna movement. And Srila Prabhupada said, I'm happy to give you your son, but why don't you stay back in return? And then he started to blubber and, oh, I have so many things I have to do, so many things I don't have time, Swamiji. So Srila Prabhupada turned to him and he said, it is not a matter of a time, it is a matter of a taste. And the taste comes through the consistency in any practice which we apply in our spiritual life. So here we see that, Prabhu is making a point that Arjuna, even in the midst of such difficult situation, he's now taking the time to introspect and reflect on his own situation and taking such a wonderful shelter to get a real understanding. So we may have many questions. There are two things should be very, very clear. When we are in the middle of difficulty, the first question comes to our mind, or we should be very clear, is that, am I really going to get an eternal solution to my material problems? Is there an end to this material problem? Is there a platform on which I can actually see from a helicopter view and see, these are not a bigger problem. The bigger problem is birth, old age, death, and disease. So that's the first thing, that is there a spiritual perspective to these problems? The second thing is, to the person where I'm sheltering or taking shelter of, is that person in the right state of frame of mind? Is he is he an authority which is coming in a disciplic succession capable to answer my questions? If we get these two things right, then we are in Arjuna's position to receive the favorable mercy of the Lord through the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which will be given to Arjuna and to us now. So going on to our B, which is now bewilderment, maybe if we can ask, we have here, Smita Mataji, if you are able to unmute and if you're able to hear us, would you like to unmute yourself and read the bewilderment paragraph, which is verses 28 to 30.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Verse 28 to
30. This one here, foreseeing the imminent suffering.
Oh, yes, yeah. Foreseeing the imminent suffering and death, that is the inevitable consequence of war, Arjuna begins to analyze his predicament. At this stage, but bereft of broader spiritual vision, his uncertainty intensifies and he becomes bewildered when one lacks on understanding of his spiritual identity, his relationship with God. And the critical purpose behind this world, one inevitably becomes disturbed and frustrated by life's challenges.
Fantastic. So again, very nicely explained by Sutapa Prabhu, giving the essence here that when one lacks an understanding of his spiritual identity, his relationship with God and critical purposes behind this world, one inevitably becomes disturbed. So the essence is having a spiritual foundation. Going into the last part of this chapter, which is the last section, perhaps could we have, who could we have? I can see Leena Mataji. Are you there with us? Are you able to unmute yourself and read the last paragraph for us?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Turning point, verse 31 to 48. 42, sorry.
Okay. Arjuna justifies his decision to. I can't really see properly.
Okay, one second. Is it better now?
Yeah, much better. Okay, I'll start again.
Sure.
Arjuna justifies his decision to retreat from fighting. It would be cruel and heartless to permanently
Prematurely.
terminate the lives of so many soldiers. Even the unrivaled kingdom would bring no happiness, since he would be barefoot of the company of his near and dear ones. One would surely accrue bad karma as a result of such brutal violence, and the wholesome killing of involved would destroy the family unit and the social structure, causing havoc for future generation. Thus, his mind overwhelmed by the grief, Arjuna set aside his weapons and resolved not to fight. Sorry.
That's all right. That was very well
very
done. Thank you.
good.
No, not at all, Leena Mataji. Thank you so much.
Sorry, couldn't see properly because of
Sure.
my
No,
eyes
you,
are getting 40 plus, and
oh, no problem. You did well.
I'm somewhere where I have a glasses or not have a glasses.
No problem, Mataji. Thank you so much. We all need these classes to see the spiritual knowledge, and that's the most important thing. You have the desire. You're hearing Bhagavad Gita, discussing it with us. That's the main thing. And Krishna will surely grant you that spiritual vision to see him through these words of transcendental words of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much. So very important juncture. Again, we went through it towards the last section, that how how now Arjuna is giving all these arguments to not fight. So that really concludes our chapter. Now I'm going to try something I've never tried. We're going to have a little bit of a quiz. So if you don't mind bearing with me for a couple of minutes while I get my Kahoot website working, and we're going to log in and have a quiz right now. And the way it will work is I'm going to give you a pin to enter, and using that pin, you will be able to then enter your name and see my page at the same time. So let me just bring that quiz. So here we are, chapter 1. Create. All right, let me see if I can. Okay. Okay. Right. So here is the pin. Please make a note of the pin. I'm going to share it. Go onto the Kahoot website. It's called kahoot.com. And the pin is 850. I'm going to put it in the chat box as well. 850-831. So if you enter this pin on the Kahoot website or on your application, there will be a thing on the tab at the bottom saying enter the pin. Now, some of you may not be so much may not be able to access. Do not worry. You'll still be able to see the question and you can put the answers in the chat box. But somehow or other, if you can try to log in onto kahoot.com, I think it's .com, or if just go in Google and say Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, and then click on enter the pin, you will enter the pin and your names will start to appear on the on my screen. I'm going to share that screen with all of you. Yes, I can see Hema Mataji, Namrata Mataji, Sridham, they have joined in. So keep entering the pin which I've given you. Yes, we have Shishya Mataji who's also joined in. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, all of you, to enter the pin so you can all join in to this quiz on the first chapter. Yes, we have a few more. Gita Mataji has joined in. Mani has joined in. Very nice. Sachi is also joined in. Oh my God, Sachi is coming to play the first chapter. Let's see. Okay, a couple more minutes, dear devotees, for you all to log in. There are
Prabhuji is asking me to choose teacher, student, personal, professional.
just choose student, Mataji. Anything is fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Kahoot and enter pin. Very good, Namrata Mataji, for sharing for others. Thank you so much. Okay, just a quick question. Is anybody having a difficulty or want to ask a quick question before we begin the quiz?
I couldn't enter.
So Mataji, if you go to Kahoot website in Google, and then there is a section either on the top if you're in the website, on the app at the bottom saying enter pin. And if you then enter this pin 850831, you will be able to access the quiz.
I think
If you can't, then don't worry. Then the questions will be coming up here. You can put it in your chat box as well.
okay.
So
I'll
let's
try.
wait. Yeah, please try. We only have 15, but we are 48 here. Let's see. It is really good fun if you can all try to log in onto Kahoot. It's not so difficult. This is the pin 850831. 850831 on Kahoot. Just enter this pin. Kahoot.it. Yes, Mataji has shared the email address. So we'll give it one more minute and then we're going to start the quiz.
Oh, username you put the pin?
Not username, Mataji. There is a section called enter pin. You don't have to put the username. If you just click on enter pin.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
We can't see enter pin.
Pin here.
Can somebody tell us which way exactly where it is so that Mataji knows? Enter pin on the website.
Even I can't get onto it, Prabhuji.
If you click play, there's a thing where you press play and then it says enter pin. There's a
Okay, great. Thank you. So click on play and then enter pin. Okay, we're doing very well. 18 of us are online now. If not, you use your chat button and send your messages there for the correct answers. Okay, great. We are making some great progress now. 20 of us are here. Very good. Okay, one more minute and we're going to get started, devotees.
Sorry, I can't get in.
Mataji, why don't you, sorry to interrupt, but
That's
Mataji, why
okay.
don't you just go on Google? If you go on Google and all you have to do in there is write Kahoot, enter pin.
Yeah, I've done that. I've put on
Perfect.
play, but it's not going on to play or
Okay.
anything.
And then are you trying to click on the first one? Because if you say Kahoot, it just goes on enter, game pin, enter, no?
Yeah, I did on the Kahoot, and
Oh,
then I tried going on play, but it's not doing it.
Oh,
I'll try
sorry,
it one more
Mataji.
time.
Yeah, it's not doing on ours either. Sorry.
Okay,
On
don't
my-
worry. You can see it on my screen. It's fine. So,
On my screen, it's asking team name.
okay, let me share the link where it will hopefully bring you directly. If you click on this link, I'm sharing on the text message chat button. It should take you to the enter the pin thing. And then you can enter this pin 850831. Okay, let's make a start, devotees. I'm conscious of the time. So you can see the questions and put your answer in the chat box. So we're going to make a start.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. Don't worry, it's not the end of the day if you're not on Kahoot, because main thing is to be on Bhagavad Gita. That's what we are all on. We are on the same page. Kahoot, no Kahoot, any other thing doesn't matter so much. Here we are. Okay, here's the first question. Now, please, one couple of important points. All the questions are timed because the questions are so easy. So the timings may not be because obviously we are conscious of the time. So you need to try and get the answers as soon as you can, because the sooner you answer the questions, the on the top you're going to be in terms of the quiz if you want to get into the competitive spirit. Here we are. Wow, that is the correct answer. Both A and B. Why Dhritarashtra had the fear of losing the battle? Because battle was to take place in Dharmashetra, which is a place of pilgrimage, and also because the Pandavas were virtuous by nature. These were the two reasons. So well done. Let's see. Wow, Sridham is on top. Sachi is next. Puja Mataji is behind. Well done, everybody. Here's the next question. Keep sending your answer in the chat box. Yes, a lot of the answers are coming in. Very good. What is the significance of the words Dharmashetra and Kurukshetra apart from their historical and Vedic importance? Very good. Well done, everybody. Yes, all of them were correct answer. In the field of Kurukshetra, the father of religion is Krishna. In the field of Kurukshetra, unwanted plants like Duryodhana will be wiped out, and religious persons headed by Yudhishthir would be established by the Lord. So well done, Bhagwati Mataji, Varsha Mataji, well done. And let's see who from the group has scored. Wow, Puja Mataji, you're climbing up nicely. Vani is coming into the game, and Garta Mataji is doing well too. Haribol. Here we are. Why Duryodhana pointed out that Dronacharya's mistake in relation to his disciple Dhristadyumna, the son of Drupada. Here are your options. Well done. Now we're getting more correct answers. Very good. And very good. Thank you so much. Here's the next one. Who spoke the last verse of chapter 1? Was it Arjun? Was it Krishna? Was it Duryodhan or was it Sanjaya? Very simple answers, dear devotees. That is correct, Yashwini Mataji and Naina Mataji. Very good, well done. Oh wow, everybody got it right. Fantastic. Oh, Gata Mataji has moved up. Very good. Sachi's right behind Sridham. And now, yeah, Puja Mataji is there. Fantastic. And Sridham is on the top. Here's the next one. Duryodhan, after praising Bhishma as far superior general, why ask others to support him? Here are your 4 answers. Why did he ask others to support Bhishma? Oh, that is correct. Both A and B. He wanted so nobody feel neglected, but because he wanted everyone to feel important as well. So here we are. Well done, everyone. Puja Mataji's moved up. Well done. Here we are. The next question. What did actually Bhishma's loud blowing of conch shell symbolizes for Duryodhan? Symbolize for Duryodhan? Symbolized of cheering Duryodhan, symbolized that Duryodhan had no chance of victory, or it symbolized of definite victory of Duryodhan and it had no meaning at all. Wow, we got mixed answer, but the correct answer is it symbolized that Duryodhana had no chance of victory in the battle. If you read Bhishma's of loud blowing of conch shell in one that the Prabhupada speaks about this aspect. Well done, everybody. Puja Mataji is right on the top. And here's the next question. Wherever Krishna is present, the dash is also present. Transcendental conch shell, goddess of fortune, activity, or the Lord's appearance. Okay, Naina Mataji, Anju Mataji is saying blue. Yashwini Mataji is saying blue. Very good. That is indeed correct. Blue, goddess of fortune. Here we are. Wow, we have SG Mataji who's coming on top. Well done. Here's the next quiz. The chariot on which Arjuna and Krishna were seated was donated by who? The fire god, the sun god, Indra, or Lord Shiva? Easy question. Let's see if you get it, but a little bit tricky. Wow, 7 people got it right. Yes, it was a little bit tricky. It was fire god and not the sun god. I knew some of us may go for sun god, but well done everybody for trying. Very good. Here we are. Puja Mataji is on top. Sachi is on number 3. Well done. What are the names of Krishna and Arjuna's conch shell? Was it Ananta, Vijaya, and Dhananjaya, or Sugosha and Manipushpaka, Panchajanya and Devadatta, or none of these? Right. Anita Mataji is saying yellow. Anju Mataji is saying yellow. Mitali Mataji is saying yellow. Varsha Mataji is also saying yellow. Okay, very good. Indeed, most of you got it right. Well done. It was Panchajanya and Devadatta. Very good. Well done, everybody. Oh, wow. Well done, Puja Mataji, SG, and Sachi Mataji for leading us. Here we go. The 10th question. Why the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sound vibrated by the Pandavas' conch shell? Here are your 4 answers. I'm not going to shout out. You read them. Slightly tricky, but it was a blue answer. I know many of you went both A and B. No, but mainly Pandavas had full confidence in Krishna that he would take care of them. Well done, everybody, for attempting that question. Oh, wow. We have Vani coming up in the race. Well done, everybody, and Garta Mataji. Here is the next one, guys. 10 more question. What was Arjuna's flag marked with? Get this answer as early as you can. It's easy. Was it a sword? Oh no, it was a fire god, wasn't he? Oh no, goddess of fortune. Or perhaps an Hanuman. Who was it on his flag? Wow, everybody got it right. Well done. And so did everybody in the chat button. Hanuman. Thank you, Varsha Mataji, Yashwani Mataji, Mitali Mataji. Saroj Mataji, thank you, Prabhu. Well done, everyone. Here we are in the next one. Oh, wow. Sridham is coming back. Watch out, everybody. Here we go. True or false? Was Arjuna's chariot bearing the flag also a sign of victory? Yes or no? True or false? Was that one of the signs of victory or not? Think about your answer. True or false? True, true. Naina Mataji, Anita Mataji is saying true. Krishnavani Mataji is saying true. Varsha Mataji is saying true. Bharti Mataji is confirming it's true. Anju Mataji agrees it's true. Is it really true though? Let's see.
No, yes.
It is. Well done, everybody. That was one of the signs explained. That's correct. Here's the next question. You got to answer as quickly as possible. Although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, why does he carry out the orders of Arjuna? Because Arjuna is a pure devotee of the Lord. Lord takes great transcendental pleasure when a pure devotee is ordering him. Both A and B or none of these. Yellow, blue, blue. We're getting a mixed answers. Okay, Krishnavani Mataji is saying both A and B. Here we are. That is the correct answer. Both of them are correct. Wow. Hema Mataji is catching up. Watch out, everybody. Here we are. Krishna is, which means he never fails in his, for his. These are the three words you need to choose. Transcendental endeavor, engagement, infallible affection, devotees, supreme attempts, peace, great service, senses. Okay, I won't read out the answers because devotees are getting clue from the chat box, but here we are. A lot of them are saying blue. That is correct. Krishna is infallible, which means he never fails in his affection for his devotees. Well done, everybody. Wow. Puja Mataji is leading. 15th question. How could Arjuna conquer both sleep and ignorance? Because of his friendship with Krishna, because of his power, because of him born in a Kshatriya family, because of being the sons of Queen Kunti. Krishnavani Mataji is saying red, Naina Mataji is saying yellow, Anju Mataji is saying red. We have another yellow, red. Bharti Mataji is saying, whoa, yes, because of his friendship with Krishna. Simply it is. Hare Krishna, we need some momentum. Everybody, well done. Hema Mataji has streak with 9 correct answers in a row. Well done, Hema Mataji. Arjuna calls Krishna as, which means husband of goddess of fortune. Which word here means husband of goddess of fortune? Madhusudana, Narayana, Madhava, and Janardana. Blue, green, Madhava, blue, red. Okay, Madhusudana. The correct answer is Madhava. That is correct. Oh, wow. Puja Mataji is really leading the way. Well done, Mataji. And SG Mataji is behind. Okay, good population for the spiritual progress in society depends on the and of its womanhood. Chastity, faithfulness, both A and B or none of these. This you should be able to get it immediately right. Now we're getting into the last section of the Bhagavad Gita. The answers are chastity, yellow, A and B. Okay. Yashwini Mataji. Okay, great. Yes, it's both A and B. Well done, everybody. Here's the next one. Last 3 questions. All these arguments which Arjuna presents before Krishna is why he should not fight war based on Arjuna's personal experience, heard by Arjuna from authorities, real or none of these. Nayana Mataji is saying is based on Arjuna's experience. Gita Mataji is saying blue. Krishnavani Mataji is saying red. Think about it, devotees. Very important point was discussed in relation to this verse. Heard by Arjuna from authorities. It was confirmed because Arjuna said in one place, and Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. Well done, who got that one right. Hema Mataji's jumped onto number 4. Well done, Mataji. Sachi, you're at number 3. Well done. Here we are, the last 2 questions. Are you ready? What did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Krishna read Arjuna's mind and Arjuna becoming overwhelmed with compassion? Or Krishna predicted Arjuna's mind in a friendly joking? Or Krishna didn't expected such response from Arjuna, the son of Kunti? Or all the answers are correct? All the answers were correct. Oh my God. That was, yeah, because if you think about it, Krishna did read Arjuna's mind and Arjuna becoming overwhelmed with compassion. Krishna predicted Arjuna's mind in a friendly joking. You remember that Hasya Ras verse we discussed, that Arjuna, how he was laughing at Krishna was, smiling at Arjuna. And Krishna didn't expect such response from Arjuna, the son of Kunti. And that was also made quite relevant. Tricky question, easy one, but I suppose the answer wasn't that easy. But here we are. Here is the last question. Let's see the scores. Here we are. Wow, Puja Mataji, you're really leading the way. Last question. How many verses are there in this chapter 1? Get on to your answers now. 44, 45, 47, or 46? Wow, somebody saying 45. Yashwini Mataji said 46. By now, everybody has seen Bhagavad Gita chapter. I'm sure you have it handy with you. Here we are, 12 right answers. And here are the scores. The Bhagavad Gita chapter quiz, the number 3 place, Sachi, well done. Number 2 place, SG. We want to know who that SG is though. Number 1 place.
Prabhuji, Shabani and Girish.
Oh, Haribol. And that's Puja Mataji. And all the other winners on the chat box as well. Well done, everybody. And well done for all the participants in taking part in this section. I don't know, it's something, I hope it was helpful in understanding the chapter or some of the important elements of the chapter. Even though we've gone through the chapter, you see some of the details don't stick with us until we kind of go through them in some kind of a recap. So did you all enjoy the session?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Great.
Prabhuji.
I can see all the Mataji's, Prabhus thinking of their school days, back to college, quiz, what's happening here?
It was good, Prabhuji. My heart was beating so fast.
Oh, was it? Okay. All right. Okay, Krishnavani Mataji thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, Krishnavani Mataji. Geeta Mataji saying it was a good fun. Chetna Mataji, that was so much fun. Great, great. Thank you, Bharti Mataji. Okay, wonderful. Well, I had a plan to also share with you something else, but now we have gone over the time. So I'll leave it for the next time. We have some exciting services coming up at the temple as things have started to open. And I want to present those opportunities to all of you if you would like to take part in many ways in this wonderful services which we do here as part of the chat team. We have this responsibility to read, hear, chant, and share this Krishna consciousness with others. That's why we've all signed up for chat actually. So I'll share that on my next session, hopefully on Friday, or maybe I'll speak to other devotees if they can present it. But tomorrow is a very auspicious day. It's Ekadashi, Pandav Nirjal Ekadashi. If you can fast without the water, that's the best thing. But if your health doesn't allow, do what you can, as we had discussed in our session on Friday. And thank you for joining in the quiz. Thank you to all of you who participated, and to our top 3 winners. Shabani Mataji, Girish Prabhu, number 2, Sachi, number 3, well done Sachi, and also for Pooja Mataji for being on a top runner. All the way, she was started with number 3, I think, and then Hema Mataji climbed pretty well, pretty quickly as well. Any comments, last comments or comments before we conclude? Shipra Mataji enjoyed the quiz very much. I'm glad you did. Thank you, Mataji.
It was
Prabhuji,
wonderful.
this,
Yes, Palika Mataji, please go ahead. You liked it as well, huh? Quiz.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. I didn't take part, but it was wonderfully exciting. But
Krishna consciousness is fun, Mataji. You got to make
we
it
missed
fun.
you in the Bhagavatam class.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, why didn't you join?
Mataji, I have quite a bit at the moment happening, but maybe in the future I've just taken a bit of a break, but I'll definitely join back. Definitely.
All the boys today came out.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank
Wonderful. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everybody. You have a wonderful Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anju Mataji. Thanks for your expressions. Thank you, Mitali Mataji. I really enjoyed working on this quiz. Sridham, he did help me, but he's going to be helping me a bit more next time when we do the chapter 2. And then we can put up another quiz when we finish the chapter 2. That's a very interesting chapter. So we'll have a nice quiz at the end of second chapter. So a nice impetus for us to, work on this. So until then, please look after yourself and have a wonderful Panav Nijal Ekadashi tomorrow. We'll start the chapter 2 in association of Vrindavan Chand Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha patita nam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
everybody.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare